What's up, my friends? I hope you're well. On my last video yesterday, I did a video talking about a certain deal about taking music up front with music licensing, sync licensing. The terminology's changed so much. I think Dan Graham posted this morning, said he had changed the name of his group from library music to add production and sync licensing, I guess, to conform with time. You can call it one of the three. It's all the same, but things have changed in the business since the 70s when they just called it library music. They also, back then, did everything with live bands and orchestras. They didn't have a MacBook Pro. But I want to get on. I wanted to real quick touch on some things I said in yesterday's video, so I clarify some things. One section I was saying, you'll learn what you're reading in the contract. You don't need an attorney. But that all depends. Let me clarify that for you. If you feel that you need an attorney, get one. Now, I could say you don't need an attorney, and I've never gotten an attorney. When I first started this, I was looking at contracts, I wondered, but when you learn the contracts, there's so many people will teach you, and you're comfortable with it, you will learn it, and you will understand that you more likely don't need one. But there are some times if you signed, let's say you signed, which is different from a library deal, an actual publishing deal where they did have a pile of money up front, and that publishing deal was over a certain period of time. They were going to publish your music and do things, and sometimes those things coincide. These publishing deals coincide with record deals. And those two things, you need an attorney. There are some instances where you would need an attorney, but in this business with sync licensing with library stuff, if you learn the contracts, you don't. But I wanted to clarify that, dude. I really did. Another thing I want to clarify is I'm talking about library deals here. I'm not talking about custom deals. Custom deals are maybe from a library or someone else in the industry where the budget is, it's almost like doing advertising, where you're with a music house or somebody where you're one of four people composing to a 30-second commercial, and here's the budget, but you're going to get a demo fee. All these things where there's a $500 demo fee, you'll get that. A lot of these guys are making a really good living just making demo fees, and one or two times a year, they may land a commercial. And the budget is pretty heavy. And as much work as they're doing a year, I guess it depends on them. But you make pretty good money a year doing that. And the budgets in some of these commercials are good, but it depends on if there's a big film. So we're talking about two different things here. But a library deal is what I was talking about. So just to clarify that, I wanted to, because I was kind of thinking, there's a couple of things maybe I need to clarify in yesterday's video, and I want to do that real quick. But just my point of that video is just be careful what you're signing and know, because there's so many questions and people, and I've seen people just get so frustrated, like, did I sign that track away in perpetuity? Well, I'm not too concerned with perpetuity if it's exclusive. If it's a library that's placing a lot of your music, I'd rather it be in perpetuity, to be honest. And when you get to doing music and sync licensing and working with libraries more and more as time goes on, you're going to start feeling that it's not important to worry about that, because you don't want to marry yourself to this music. It's production music. It's not like you're trying to write that hit song. Set it, forget it, and don't fret it. That's the way I see it, folks. But as I said yesterday in my point, sometimes you have to kind of go back and go, well, in 3 years, it wasn't getting any placements. And that deal that I talked about, if they're going to take half your writers, if they had a plan and said, hey, this is what we're going to do, let's give it a shot. If it's something that's worth doing, not somebody just arbitrarily taking half your writers, that's not cool to do, But either way, no matter what their plan is, it's out of your control. But if you're getting a lot of placements for many years to come, just do it. But don't let that be the only library you write for. So I just wanted to clarify those things real quick and just kind of preface something about the legal aspect of it. I'm not an attorney. If you're not comfortable, with my advice or anybody else on YouTube, and if you think that you need to speak to an attorney, please do that. Do it. Because a good music attorney can give you some good contract insight, and they more likely will confirm what I'm saying to you. because it's not just that type of deal. There's a lot of things that could be put in these small things in these contracts that come up all the time that you want to read it, you want to know. And I've learned that I can look at a library contract and I can look at each section and I know what I'm looking for. It's the most important things that you look for, you know. And a lot of it is that if you have a reversion or if it's left in perpetuity, what your percentage is of writers, most importantly, the sync fees, what you're splitting. The standard deal in this industry is a 50-50 deal. 50-50 meaning publisher gets 100% publishers, you get 100% writing. It's out of a 200% pile. And any sync money paid for licensing is 50-50 down the middle. Now, in some instances, you get a library, they're doing sub-pubbing and they have to split their 50 with that library. It might be 25, but you're getting 50%. But there again, all depends on the contract. If you have a collaborator, then there's a split off you and that collaborator. You and that collaborator are splitting that 50%, you know. You're splitting the writers 50-50 because you collaborated on that, you know. So understand that if you write and collaborate with somebody, the most important thing is just it's a 50-50 deal. I think that's very fair, and unless you've got somebody that just says, listen, I'll take your album, I'll get it in this library if you give me 30% writers. Well, if they've got a good relationship with that library and you don't, and you've emailed and never gotten a response, and they can get it in there, I think it's worth giving them 30% writers. Sometimes those deals are good. If you get somebody who's kind of a middleman that I would say kind of like a sync agent, but not, it's probably a good thing to do. But those individuals that may be or may not be composers doing that stuff, you need to be very careful and pay close attention to what those people are doing. You need to be real careful about, you know, make sure that, you know, what they're doing with that music. In fact, I would probably say, hey, I'll email the stuff over directly to them. But if not, don't volunteer stems, you know, don't do that. Because if they have the stems, they can do what they want with it. You don't want to do that if you don't know them. Now, if you know them, you know, you're good. Probably good to vet these people and get to know them if you have somebody that's kind of in your corner as an advocate that can do that for you. That can get you deals and get you into the door. Collaborating with other artists can get you deals that can get you in the door with another library. But at the end of the day, as I said, I just want to clarify, just be careful what you're signing and you'll be fine. Learn this business. You'll be okay. Just wanted to clarify that. I'm going to jump off. I'll see you guys on the next one. Be cool. Thanks.